The time is 5 o'clock. Here's the world news at 5. First, the top stories. Housewife in Ogun police net for allegedly killing her 1-day-old baby. National health policy approved. Presidency, Labour agreed to review national monthly minimum wage. Police gets go ahead to recruit more 10,000 personnel yearly. In foreign, tropical storm hit coastal towns in Mozambique. And 79 people killed in bird flu outbreak in China in 1 month. Good evening, I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan, bringing you the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. A woman is now in police custody in Abeokuta for allegedly killing her 1-day-old baby. The 40-year-old suspect Fuluke Omolewa told the police that she supposedly took the decision because of the economic hardships. She was arrested at Songwater by policemen after residents of Anishere Unity Estate, Songwater, where she resides, alerted the police of the incident. Spokesman of the State Police Command, Abimbola Oyeyemi, says the woman was picked up at the scene of the crime at 17 Ilukweji Street in the state. Her neighbors, according to Oyeyemi, told the police that the suspect once threw one of her daughters into a pit latrine 4 days after delivering her. The baby was later rescued. The State Police Commissioner, Hamed Ilyasu, had directed the transfer of the suspect to the State Crime Intelligence and Investigation Department for thorough investigations. Ogun State government says it is finalizing the harmonization of taxes and other levies being paid trade routes in the state by the traders. Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs Commissioner Chief Jide Ojuko, who made this known while receiving Afrinet officials and members of Road Traders and Transportation Association, popularly known as Alajapa in Abeokuta, said the harmonization would address the challenges of multiple taxation. According to Juko, the measure would reduce the prices of farm produce and help government to unify the revenue collectors and other agencies that collect revenue on behalf of the state and local government. He asked chairmen of local government and local council development areas to check the excesses of the tax collectors stationed along various trade routes to curb overtaxation. Chairman of the Alajapa Association, Alhaji Hamed Akindele, assured the state government of the association's readiness to pay their taxes and other levies as stipulated by government. Students seeking admission into the tertiary institutions in Ogun State and their parents have been warned against registering for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) at the unauthorized centers. The Ogun State chairperson of the Computer-Based Test (CBT) Centers owners, Mrs. Titilope Ero, who issued the warning in an interview with Rock City FM in Abeokuta, says that the Joint Admission Matriculation Board (JAM) has not begun registration of candidates for the 2017 UTME. Ero alerts that the unauthorized centers, especially the cyber cafe operators, have started defrauding unsuspecting students who, according to her, are desperate to register for the examination. She stated that the delay in the sale of UTME forms and registration of the examination was to fine-tune some arrangement in order to have a hitch-free UTME this year. On the requirements to meet by the CBT centers, including the installation of closed-circuit television (CCTV) and a minimum of 250 and above terminals computers, she said the directive was a reminder of some of the conditions for accrediting CBT centers for UTME. Federal Executive Council has approved a new national health policy to improve healthcare delivery in the country. Health Minister Professor Isaac Adewale, who announced the approval to the State House correspondent after the weekly meeting of the Council at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, said the policy was initially endorsed by the National Council of Health. The minister made the call that the new policy aimed at ensuring the reduction of maternal and child mortality, wider immunization coverage, and better control, as well as the prevention of public health emergencies. The new policy, according to the minister, is Nigeria's third, replacing the ones introduced in 1988 and 2004. The meeting of the National Economic Council is scheduled to hold later today at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Ahead of the meeting, the state governors met on Wednesday night at the Villa to adopt a common position on several national issues concerning their relationship with the presidency. The meeting, presided over by the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Governor Abdulaziz Yari, lasted into the night. The National Economic Council's meeting will be presided over by Acting President Yemi Osinbajo. Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) says the organized labor and the presidency have finally agreed to review the national minimum wage. NLC President Ayuba Waba, who made this known in Abuja, stated that the agreement was reached during the last meeting of the Technical Committee on Palliative. The Labour leader shows that the report of the Technical Committee on Palliative is ready and will be submitted directly to the President Muhammadu Buhari this month. After the submission of the report, the NLC president gave details that the presidency would set up a tripartite committee consisting of officials of the federal government, the organized labor, and the organized private sector to negotiate the new wage. NLC is demanding an upward review of the monthly minimum wage from 19,000 naira to 56,000 naira. Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State has given elders and traditional rulers in the Gato area 72 hours to produce a member of militia who killed a soldier in the area. The soldier, Badamasi Aminu, one of the troops deployed to keep peace in the Gato area, was killed by some youth at Ole Kadakolu near Egba last Saturday. The governor, condemning the killing of the soldier, warned people in the Gato area against taking law into their hands. Troops of 707 Special Forces, later deployed to retrieve the body of the slain soldier, recovered several arms and ammunition from the Agatu militia suspected to have killed the soldier. The Special Force Commander, Brigadier General Clement Akwere, listed weapons recovered as 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 SLR rifles, 2 G3 rifles, a fabricated pistol, 3 locally made pistols, 2 short barrel guns, 14 din guns, as well as police and military kits. Presidency has approved the recruitment of 10,000 policemen every year to address the shortage of manpower in the police force. The proposed recruitment, according to Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris, aims at strengthening the operational efficiency of the police to cope with the rising security challenges in the country. Also, more squadrons of mobile policemen will be established in states to increase the rate of response to banditry, armed robbery, and kidnapping. Idris, speaking at the monthly Inspector General of Police conference at the force headquarters in Abuja, said the rising cases of kidnapping was overwhelming the force. According to him, a national summit will soon be convened to address the challenges of kidnapping, while asking the National Assembly to pass a bill on Security Trust Fund to address issues of inadequate funding hindering police operations. You are still listening to the World News at 5 from Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign business and sport news. Please do stay with us. On the foreign scene, tropical storm Daniel, which has been building along the east coast of southern Africa, has made landfall in Mozambique, battering two coastal towns with heavy rain and wind at speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour. There were, however, no immediate reports of death or injuries, and the government's emergency services is yet to give an update on the situation. Daniel was expected to develop into a Category 1 cyclone with winds at more than 130 kilometers per hour. Mozambique's National Institute for Disaster Management urged residents in the coastal cities of Ihambane, Maxise, and surrounding villages to reinforce their roofs to protect windows and to stockpile food and water. In January 2012, Mozambique was hit by two cyclones that killed 26 people and displaced more than 120,000, according to official data. An outbreak of H7N9 bird flu in China killed 79 people in January, the most in a single month in at least 3 years. More than 250 cases of H7N9 have been reported to the National Health and Family Planning Commission from 16 provinces and regions. At least 6 more deaths have been reported thus far in February, raising concerns China faces a public health crisis more severe than the 2013 outbreak that killed 40 people and devastated the poultry industry. Local authorities have ordered temporary shutdowns of some poultry markets and ramped up testing. H7N9 is considered to be less virulent than the H5N1 strain that the World Health Organization has linked to hundreds of deaths worldwide over the last decade. And now in business. Presidency has finalized plans to float saving bond that will be subscribed to by members of the public to partly finance the proposed 2017 budget. The proposed saving bond, which will be issued before April, has a tenure of 2 to 3 years, as allows a minimum investment of between 5,000 naira and a maximum of 50 million naira. Director General of the Debt Management Office, Dr. Abraham Nwankwo, says the amount to be raised through the bond will be determined after the National Assembly approves the provisions for domestic borrowing in the 2017 budget. Last week, the $1 billion Eurobond floated by the presidency was oversubscribed by investors in the world capital market. Finally, sport news. The Super Eagles are shopping for friendlies against robust-playing African teams to prepare them for a World Cup double-header against new African champions Cameroon beginning on August 28 in Uyo. Senegal have already confirmed they will face Nigeria in London on March 23 before they take on Cote d'Ivoire in another test game in France days later. Reports suggested Burkina Faso will be Nigeria's second friendly foes in London on March 27. But this will not be so, as Morocco have confirmed a friendly with AFCON 2017 semi-finalist Burkina Faso on March 24 in Marrakesh. This means that Nigeria cannot play against the Burkina Babes in London, as it will be against FIFA regulation that stipulates no country should play 2 matches within days across 2 different continents. World News at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Housewife in Ogun police net for allegedly killing her 1-day-old baby. National health policy approved. Presidency, Labour agreed to review national monthly minimum wage. Police given go-ahead to recruit more 10,000 personnel yearly. In foreign, we told you that tropical storm hit coastal towns in Mozambique, and also 79 people killed in bird flu outbreak in China in 1 month. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan. Good evening.